I'm from a small town in Nevada, Missouri. Grew up there till 3rd grade, and I really didn't have much of a background in faith at that point in my life. I still don't really know what most of the denomination of my family was, but I opted to go to a private school when I was going to preschool, which was Calvary Christian. I met my best friend John when I was a kid there, and he brought me over to his church, and I really loved going, and I went there all the way up till 3rd grade when I ended up leaving Nevada and coming over to Pittsburgh due to some mental illness issues with my mother. In middle school, I started dabbling in drugs and alcohol here and there. In my sophomore year of high school, December 15th of 2012, I lost my mother to a drug overdose, and I felt lost and I felt broken. Garrett, he's actually a youth pastor now at a church in Pittsburgh. He called me on the way back and he said, "Hey, where are you going to be living at?" And I told him I really didn't have any idea right now. I didn't know what was going on. I felt just lost to everything. And he said, "No, you're staying with me." And that was a Saturday night. He got home at 11 p.m., grabbed everything I needed out of my house for that night, took me to his house, introduced me to his mom and his sister. And I stayed there that night, and then he woke me up at 8 a.m. the next morning and said, "Hey, you're coming to church with me, okay?" Something kind of awakened in me that I hadn't felt in a long time. May of the following year, 2013, I attempted suicide. I went to school the next day, completely acted like myself, normal, everything was good, fine, I'm great. There was a counselor named Lindsay Moss who was a social worker through a community health organization that was in our school. And I went to her and I just told her, I said, "I need some help. I tried to hang myself last night and failed." So I went to a behavioral hospital. And while in there for a month, I was told that I no longer had a place to stay with Garrett and his family. I felt like everything that I had started to believe in was just gone. None of it mattered anymore. And I went right back into drug use, even worse than before, actually. And when I finished high school, I decided to move away, and I really stayed away from the church that entire time. I went to K-State, went to school for about 4 months before drugs finally got to where I failed out. So I moved back down to Pittsburgh, Kansas, and using drugs and going to work. That was kind of my life. I got a job at this car lot. I just happened to notice a truck coming in the lot, went and talked to the guy getting out of it, and it ended up being Pastor Andrew Moyer. And I worked with him and his wife Christine for about, I'd say a week, I think, on a car deal. Throughout that week, I got to know Andrew, and just seeing his authenticity and his vulnerability really spoke to me. He asked me if I would, come by the church sometime. I said I'd think about it. We went and we sat down in the corner and we went through the service, and there was this breakthrough in the middle of it. I really can't ever explain that feeling that I got or what was going on inside of me. While I was still physically there, mentally I was gone. I was no longer in that room with those people. I was just in peace and calm, and everything felt fine. And I heard my mom's voice for the first time in a long time. And she told me that this was home. She said, "This is where you're supposed to be at right now, and you need to keep doing this." Told me she was proud of me. And in that moment, I realized that I had been running away for a long time from a God that had pushed out to connect with me at multiple points in my life through Garrett, my choice to go to a private Christian school when my family had never discussed faith with me. I ended up getting baptized about 3 months ago. And from that moment, I haven't had a single thought about relapsing. That's all gone, and I don't even have really the need to do it anymore, the thought about it. I found that my gift that I've been given is to be able to tell people, I guess, how amazing God really is and what He's done for me, and still on this journey of experiencing being a newfound Christian within the last 6 months, but feeling a leadership role in that kind of, I guess, feeling that I need to step up and do something. And so every day my focus is waking up, praying to God and asking Him, "What am I doing for you today? What do I move through to glorify you?" It's getting stronger every day. I'm Jason McDonald, and this is me.